Crank it, Earl.
Crank it, Earl. All right.
Sorry, an old saying.
Okay,
But
we're good, right?
I'm old, so
We're on, right?
Yep.
Yep.
Yes.
Yeah,
You
it's
didn't
live.
even give me a,
I
and
did.
we're on. Oh,
I did. I did.
he did it quietly, so you couldn't hear it.
no doubt. He catches me all the time. All right. Hello and welcome everybody back to Dungeons and Dad Jokes. We took a week off last week because we had a graduation within our group. Chuck, aka Kadeth, graduated with a degree last Saturday, so we're really excited about that.
He's out of junior
Last
high
Friday.
school now.
He's finally out of junior high school. So we took that week off. Family going everywhere and doing whatnot. So we said, you know what, we're going to take a break. So welcome back, and I will get you caught up in what we did 2 weeks ago. But first, I want you to check out our danddadjokes.com website. Check that out. There will be updates on there, some new updates and whatnot of cons that are coming up rather quickly.
Bowling Green Con this coming weekend. Woo, woo.
Woo, 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 woo. And after that, hopefully, well, not hopefully, we told him. Hopefully, we should be at River City Steampunk Con.
City Steampunk Expo.
But watch for that on our website so you know how to get tickets. We'll post all that stuff on our website. So keep up to date on that. Be sure to subscribe. You can join in the chat live. We have a couple of us that hang out there and chat with people who come on. And so do that. It's a demand. Do it. So let's jump into tonight's episode that we have entitled Patience, which I did not write down. So let me write that down. So how did we get here? We're in Key right now at the Trinson Estate. That's where we're starting up. So last game session, not last week, 2 weeks ago, you guys encountered Elijah and fought him. He was not giving up the ring, and he was trying to get out of there. Unfortunately, he did not succeed. You killed him. And you guys discovered that the silver ring that he had and was not giving up, after looking through it magically and doing some identification, found out that it is the silver ring that seems to be the one that is being searched for by the 5 who want to bring back Velsharoon. Forsyth also found a few other items while rummaging through Elijah's pockets that he either pocketed himself or handed off to somebody else. Eventually, they make it out of the city, and they camp there in the Skyfields. In the morning, Joy Bay comes and picks them up and teleports them back to Key. So you guys are at Key. You found out in Key, Brumon did arrive back home, and you did find out that Gara and her entourage is in Key. Forsyth did go, eventually finding out which tavern they were staying at, and scried on Fune, Gara's handmaid, and overheard some conversation that they want to be able to attack the Trinson family since they are all present at the estate. However, her mage, Devakri, definitely gives her warning that the wards are strong and the ward maker, the one who enacted the wards, is present on the estate, which will make it that much more difficult to break through. Forsyth makes it back home, and there is where we pick up, is in the household of Key. I would say late, well, probably early evening. Unless you wanted to try to do everything like in the first few hours, in which case it'd be early afternoon. you want to know why I'm wishy-washy on time, go read the GM Corner because personally, I don't care about time. That's just me personally.
Well, Fix very much worries about time, but at some point, Fix would want to go to the armorer,
Okay.
the one that made his first set of armor.
Okay. So you leave the Trinson estate and go to the armorer.
Covertly, yes.
Roll me stealth.
And by covertly, I mean invisibly.
Okay, roll me stealth with advantage.
I think invisibility should give more than just advantage.
Well, with your rolls, I think advantage is enough.
I don't know. You know what my stealth is?
No, but I know what your rolls are.
Well, with advantage, I'm only rolling one dice.
Oh, geez.
That one dice landed on a 19, and I have a +0, so.
Okay, well, 19.
19.
19's good. It's better than my 11.
Hmm?
So you make your way to the armorer.
Yes.
You show up. Did I give the armorer a name? I don't
I
remember if I
don't
did or not.
remember. Yeah, I don't remember.
So you show up at the armorer, and you.
I probably would have gone with him just in case.
Okay. Are
No.
you visible or invisible?
Well, if he's
I'd go ahead and make him invisible as well.
yeah.
Okay.
Well, because I think I do something with invisibility. I'm totally blanking. Did we just level?
Yes, you
We
named
just
the
leveled.
armor.
Oh, what is his name?
Emund, E-M-U-N-D.
Emund. Okay. Do you make yourself visible before you walk in or after you walk in? Well, I guess it doesn't really matter. His back
After.
is probably turned.
After.
He's probably hammering away at something, not even paying attention.
And then I'd appear and I'd say, "What are you working on there?"
He will stop and turn around. He'll say, "Ah, Lord Trinson. This here is to be a shield." He'll kind of set us to the side. He'll put down his tongs, kind of take off his gloves, pat down his hands a little bit. He said, "What can I do for you?" And he'll reach out to shake his hand. Shake your hand.
I'll shake his hand. And then I will return to him the armor that he had crafted for me.
Oh, is there something wrong with this? I mean, I
No.
do see that you have new, but it never hurts to have backup, in your own storage.
No, I appreciate it, but I believe that something of this quality should, if not used by its intended, be returned to the crafter.
Well, I do appreciate that. And he'll take that and he'll walk it off probably to the back and put it down.
And as I'll actually be presumptuous and follow him, but as I do, the armor will transform to the apron.
Okay. When he turns around, he'll startle. He said, "When do I want to know?"
God has blessed me.
Very well. And Gond is? I don't think he knows Gond.
I believe I told him about him the
That's
first
right.
time.
I think that you did. Yeah, you would have probably, because you
Yeah,
had him
we talked
attached
about
to the cog.
Yep.
Yep. Okay. He says, "Oh, Gond, the god you follow."
Yes. The maker
That
of all
is
things.
quite a blessing there.
Yes, it is.
What can I do for you?
I seek a shield better than my own.
Oh, what kind of shield are you carrying?
A +1 shield.
Just a +1. Okay. All right. Well, you have a mighty fine shield there.
I have feeling I'm going to go into a very difficult confrontation soon.
Well, I can see what I can do.
Do you have anything ready-made?
I do not. I've started on this shield here. It's not up to that caliber yet. I still have to work it for a bit more.
Well,
May need to call you want something better. I may need to call in a mage to assist me in
understood.
that. This is the one that I have the closest so far. However, I'm just making this one as I did not have any shields available. This one is not claimed. I can continue to work on this one. It might still be a day or two, though.
One second.
As he's speaking, he'll walk back out to the main part of the shop. Kadeth, I'm sure you're not far behind.
No.
Nope.
Tell you what. Why don't you? He'll reach down and pull out an ingot, a large ingot of obtanium out of his bag.
Ah,
Perhaps you should start over.
I could indeed. I am more than willing.
Thank you. And I look over at Kadath. What is Kadath wearing?
That is a good question. Give me a second.
I don't think Kadath is wearing much. Well, okay, he's wearing
Armor
robes.
wise.
Kadath just runs around naked.
Oh, plus
No
one
wonder
half
why he's
plate.
intimidating.
I've got plus one half plate, but I've got an armor class of 22 right now.
Okay. I think that would be the equivalent of plate. If I
Ouch.
remember correctly. Okay, then never mind. Do you need anything, Kadath?
No, I'm doing fine.
Well, let's hope that holds after this confrontation,
Yeah, we'll see.
or we'll be dead. One or the other.
True.
I mean, if you're dead, you don't need armor.
True. Let's hope it doesn't come to that.
I should hope not.
When
I
you
will begin on
you know
this
where to
right
deliver
away.
that, right?
Indeed.
Thank you. And I will redo the invisibility, and we will depart.
You see him as you kind of depart. You going invisible kind of startles him at first. But you can see that he kind of takes a mental note that there's like, okay, he doesn't want to know. You know, he's smart enough to pick up that you went invisible, so you don't want somebody to know that you've been here. So
Right.
you're pretty sure he won't say anything to anybody.
I would hope not. And then I'd head back to the estate.
All right. You come back into the estate. What are you doing, Evangeline? Just hanging out with Gavian? Spooning?
Oh no.
Okay.
In Gavian's room, I am.
They're not hanging out. They're
Opening
Hey,
my bag of
he's half
holding.
asleep right now.
I'm going to open up my bag of holding.
All right. You open up your bag of holding.
And I'm going to start pulling stuff out.
I'm assuming this is your lab bag, right?
My lab bag, yeah.
Okay. You open up that bag of holding, you start pulling things out. You notice as you're pulling things out, everything that you pull out has nanites on it.
Okay. I'm going to start working with those nanites and pulling them together.
All right. Where you just working off to the side in his room? Are you sitting on his bed? What are you doing?
I'll be working off to the side in this room. I'm sure he has a chair in there.
Okay.
Table. Oh, it doesn't matter. I probably have a table in my bag.
Okay.
A small table.
You start working on nanites. You start pulling them together, trying to get them together. Some of them are attaching. Some of them seem to be moving away. Like if you've ever busted a spider sack
I try to stay far away from spiders.
and all of a nest of eggs for spiders, if they're old enough, if that gets busted, they go and it's like a sea of spiders. You got nanites kind of running everywhere. You think you're collecting probably the majority of them, but there are several scattered about.
It's okay. The ones that I'm collecting together, I'm going to start working with. And seeing how I found out that I have what I need to know how to control those nanites. I've been looking through books and whatnot. And I'm going to start working on trying to control them and put them together. You can play as much of this mechanics as you want to play, or
you're going to start putting them together. What are you trying to get them to do?
I am trying to get them to form into a solid mass.
Okay.
Legos.
The first thing,
Legos. That's right.
The first thing I'm working on creating is a dagger.
Okay. You pull them together into a mass, and you start working on programming them, much like you kind of programmed TCC or TTC and TC. And you start programming them. Go ahead and roll me your Numenera.
24.
24. All right. You are able to start. You notice as you're programming these nanites and you're getting them together, some of the ones that you've pulled together that you felt like you haven't programmed starts to do the same thing. You are noticing immediately that they are communicating with each other as they're getting pulled together to mass. They are communicating with each other, and you have managed to get a pretty much a blade. You have a blade.
Okay. I'm going to work on that.
Roll me your perception.
My perception. That's a 16. My investigation's better. Can I investigate? If I notice something?
After you notice something, sure, but you got to notice it first. What was that again?
17?
16. All right. With the 16, as you're working on this, you see Gavian shifting in the bed a little bit.
I'll go check on him.
All right.
Make
go-
sure the nanites aren't bothering him.
As you begin to check everything, go ahead and roll me your investigation.
25.
All right. You begin to check over Gavian. He's fine. Physically, he seems fine. But as you start to notice, you see like some covers shift just slightly, real close to where his back, where the mark of Gara's hand is at his back. And you pull back the covers, and you see about 4 nanites kind of in that crevice where scars or, well, scabs are beginning to form that seem to be becoming the scab in essence.
I'm going to watch them.
All right. You sit there and watch them for a while. Forsyth, what are you doing?
I am in a tree.
Yeah.
High as I can get without changing form.
Okay. You can get pretty high on some of them.
I know. Watching the tree line for watchers.
Okay.
Who's watching the watchers?
Who's watching them? All right. Roll me a perception.
22.
22. All right. As you get up in the tree line and you just sit and you watch, you notice beyond the wall, on the outside of the Trenson estate, beyond the wall, you see a couple of people that seem to like just sit there for a little while and then they'll move. And in about 15-20 minutes or so, you see them come back and sit there for a little while and then they'll move. You're not quite sure where they're going. You're pretty sure they're probably sitting someplace else. They
Right.
definitely seem to be paying attention to the Trenson estate.
How far away from me are they when they're near the wall? I can move from tree to tree, so if I need to.
They are approximately 50 feet from the wall.
All right. At their nearest point. Question, which wall are they looking from?
Which wall?
Yeah.
I'm going to say the western wall.
Okay, so they're in Israel.
Yeah, yeah, something like that. The west
the Wailing Wall. That's the Western Wall. Okay, I am going to move trees over to here.
Okay.
At when they go away, so that I am nearer to them when they return. And let's see how I want to do this. What's the range on that? That's only 30 feet, so that doesn't help me. Whereas that, hold on a second. Okay, I can't hear them at that range, probably.
No, not really.
Are there any trees near where they are?
There are trees scattered everywhere, and yes, they probably sit under a tree where they're kind of in the shadow a little bit, less noticeable.
And do I recognize the type of tree there? I mean, been all over the grounds and outside of it.
Yeah, it's a common tree to the area. So
All right, then I'm going to next time they're away, I'm actually going to I
treat
can
the
climb
trade.
this wall easily, right?
You could.
All right, I'm actually going to, as they're walking away, make a run for the tree they've been sitting beneath, and I'm going to climb high into it so that they can't see me.
Okay. Um,
Because I
yeah,
can always get out of there quick.
yeah. You have plenty of time. I'm not going to make you roll for this because you have time. You know it takes them about 20 minutes or so to get back to
Yeah,
this tree, so you've got some time to be able to scale the wall, jump over, and go scale up the tree without being in too much of a rush.
right. Okay, and then I am going to listen to them from up there. And should they be whispering, I will do something else. But if they're talking loud enough to be heard, I will just listen and see what I can make of their conversation.
Okay. You see them come back, and they stop and they stand at the tree. This time they have like a, I don't know, piece of fruit or whatever they're eating, you know, snacking on something. They don't talk for a little while, but they watch, they look around, they seem to be watching more. They're on the northern side of the western wall, so they're kind of watching down the northern side and the western side. After a little bit of time, they do begin to talk. You do hear them talking about. One of them says, "Man, I don't know why we're watching the Trenson estate. Aren't they council members?" The other one's like, "Yeah, I don't know. They just asked us to watch. I don't know if they're expecting trouble
Okay,
or
at
what."
that point, when I hear those words, which are going to trigger me anyway, I am going to go into detect thoughts,
Okay.
and I'm going to do my free detect thoughts.
All right. Um, both of them, if you focus on one and then quickly focus on the other, just catching the surface thoughts of both of them, they both seem uninformed. They both kind of like, why are we doing this? We're just following
Right.
orders. This is stupid. Um, neither one of them seem to like, they're just doing what they're told,
I understand,
like,
but someone told them.
yeah, someone told them that, but that doesn't come on the free thoughts.
Right. I will dig deeper into it. The casting of detect thoughts,
Okay.
and
You
I will
dig.
cast that at 4th level.
Okay. I don't know what that does. Level do anything for that?
It does, but it has to do with, I think, them trying to block it or something.
Okay.
But okay, if creature you choose is an intelligence of 3 below, well, I'm sure they have a little higher than that.
Yeah, they're at least at reading and writing stage.
Yeah. So what I'm trying to dig into their thoughts is who told them to do this?
Okay. The first one you cast it on got a 13 on their wisdom save. I don't know what your DC is.
16.
Okay. Okay, you're gonna be able to dig into kind of both of them if you wanted to. You start digging into a little bit more deeply into one of their thoughts. You realize that they are both scouts. Um, well, the
What,
one guy
boy or
anyway.
girl?
Doing the. They're both male at the moment. They're both
Boy
male.
Scouts, Girl Scouts.
Yeah.
It
Oh,
was a
Boy
joke.
Scouts. Boy
Yeah.
Scouts. Sorry, that one went. Whoo! It had to come back and hit me in my bum. Um. So, the first one that you listened to, he's a scout. He kind of digs some information. He's local. He typically gets sent out on other missions. He doesn't usually get a whole lot of information. He reports directly to Piff Cernosk, and he's an information gatherer.
Right.
The other one, if you start to focus on the other one a little bit more deeply, he rolled less than a 16. He got a 15. You dig into him. He's also a scout. He doesn't quite get, he usually does solo missions. He doesn't usually work with somebody else, but here he is working with this guy. You know, they know each other. You know, they've met each other. They just don't normally work together. He also is a bit confused why they're looking at the Trinson estate. But, you know, when it comes from Piff Cernosk, you do what you're told.
Okay. All right. I am going to actually wait until they leave again,
Okay.
and I will shapeshift into a giant eagle, and I will go to a high altitude and follow them.
Okay. They leave. You watch them round the corner on the western wall. You flip into a high eagle or an eagle and take a high route. You watch them. They're kind of in between trees. You know, you lose them every now and then, but being so high, you kind of pick up on them again because you know what you're looking for. You do see them kind of go to the southeastern corner esque, and you have them. They stop at like a small little shop over there that just sells like pastries or whatever. Um, and you see them go into the shop, and you kind of circle around a little bit. In 3-4 minutes or so, they kind of come out, and you see them. They take notice of the Trinson estate, and they begin to walk up the eastern wall to round the corner.
Okay, I will keep a high altitude and just follow them visually.
Okay. They seem to go back to that other spot to stop again.
Okay,
So
they have a pattern.
they have a very distinct pattern. You can
All
tell that
right.
from their thoughts, they're not concerned. I mean, they stay out of sight for the most part, but sight of the street anyway. They stay to the shadows under the trees, things like that. But they're not really concerned about trouble necessarily. They think this is stupid. They don't know why they're here, but they're doing what they're told.
Oh, I know why they're here. They just don't. But I want to know who. Now I know who.
Yep.
Okay. I will head back to the estate, circling around to come in from behind where they can't see me,
All right.
and changing forms once I get to the ground behind the estate. Then I
All
will
right.
enter from whatever back door I know of,
Okay.
and I will let those who are there, including Mrs. Trinston, know who is sending people to watch.
Okay. Um, as you come in and you kind of find a few people, you kind of a couple of the siblings. Mr. Trenson is almost always in the lower level. Mrs. Trenson is usually in the office. Um, and you know that she's in there. You come in, you let her know. And she says, Piff Cernosk has my house being watched.
That's what these watchers are saying. They don't know they're saying it, but we have our ways.
And Reneo is still in the basement. Wonder
Like
who has.
Saddam had Kurds in his way. Anyway.
All right. Well, I will have to find out why this is. Surely she doesn't have that kind of reach.
I think she's I think we all know who Pisternoff, or however you say it, is working for.
I should hope not, but at this point, I'm beginning to think she has her claws in everybody at some point or another.
I think her reach is a lot further than people think it is.
Apparently. About this time, one of the servants comes in and says, "Pardon the interruption, Lady Trenson. Uh, you have a message here from the council?" And she hands out the message, and Arias opens it up, looks at it, reads it. "Great. Council's being called tomorrow morning. Apparently, we're going to have a dinner. And I'm supposed to bring Morgrim. We'll see how this goes. Guess I should let him know that he needs to lay out his finer clothes."
Well, if you need any help, let us know.
"Yeah, we'll see what this is about." And she'll walk out and head to get to Morgrim. Kadeth, what are you doing? After you get back, you probably get back while Forsyth, you notice the eagle. And you recognize
The eagle has
he's
landed.
probably doing a scouting type thing.
Right.
You've seen him do it lots before. What do you do when you get back?
I don't know. I don't really have anything necessarily to do here. So probably just seeing if anybody needs help with anything to get things settled around here.
All right. Fix, when you come back in, what do you do?
Well, question. Has
Yeah.
Forsyth informed us of what has happened through our link?
If he catches you in the hall after he's come down, yes. He is not going to intrude upon, if you and Zybella are together necessarily. Now, Forsyth, do you do this over the link? I mean, you can telepathically tell everybody over the link.
I will if they're near enough and I'm not able to catch them.
Okay, then yeah, eventually he will inform you of this. Probably shortly after you're there.
Forsyth, have you tested whether or not you can traverse through the plants with the wards up?
I haven't tried it, but let's experiment a little bit.
Here's my thought. If
I can read your thoughts. No, I mean,
if you can, that means that we can leave visibly, make a show of it even, and then dart down an alley and return.
oh, I know we can do that because I can travel through the plants, and it's not going
Right.
to.
But can you get through the wards of the estate?
Well, let's go find out, and I will go outside. Well, yeah, I'll go outside and use the trees first to just tree walk, and I'm going to presume if the tree walk works, then the transport through plant will work.
All right.
I don't want to waste that 6th level spell.
All right. Keeping an eye out on some things, you know, to make sure you're not going to hit the moving scouts. Keeping an eye out on things. You get to a tree and you cast the tree stride, and you step into the tree, and you step out wherever you, within 500 feet, one of the trees on the outside of the estate. It does seem to allow you to go through the ward.
Okay.
Now, can you
This
come
is
back?
both good and scary. Well, it's good in that I can get through. It's scary that I'm not the only one who could get through.
Quite possibly.
Let's hope
But
that
they
you're the
gotta
only one
have
that studied
druid
our
with them.
trees. Well, let's
I-
see if you can come back.
Well, let's see. What's it say? Brain, open up. Well, I got up to a minute, so I can just keep going back and forth.
Well, one thing you should try,
Wee.
What's that?
have Philaethus do his little protection thing,
Yeah,
then have you try to come back through.
yeah. Go ahead and put your word up, and I
I
will
will-
invite Fix to come with me as we go through the tree.
Uninvite Forsyth for Philaethus? Is that what you're asking?
Temporarily,
Temporarily.
just to
Yes.
test it.
Yeah, that's understandable
Yeah,
because
that's
the wards shouldn't work on me anyway. In this case, being an invited
Well-
guest.
right. But at this point, I'm uninviting you temporarily.
Right. All right. While I'm
Please.
out, uninvite me. Yeah, that's fine.
All right. Yeah, you test it and you transport out. You transport in. You step out of the tree, and I need you to make a wisdom saving throw.
Oh, joy, delight. Set me up here, why don't you? 17.
17. You
That was a 9 on the die.
you get stuck. You're standing outside the tree and you get stuck.
Okay. Okay, it doesn't work right.
Thank you, Philaethus. You may add him back to the approved visitors list.
Thanks.
You get unstuck.
I am stuck on Band-Aid.
Band-Aid stuck on me.
Okay. Well, that
What a great song.
gives me at least some peace of mind. Okay.
I'm gonna give you a piece of my mind.
All
So
right.
what do you think about leaving all of us and giving them the illusion that we are no longer there?
That was my thought, was to leave the estate, but pop back in once we got out of their sight.
Okay. I'm still connected to Joy Bay. Okay. I'm going to relay what we're going to do to Joy Bay. Ooh, actually, do you think is there a limit to the number of people you can bring?
It's a timed. The tree stride is just timed. It's open for X amount of rounds or something like
tree
that.
stride is 1 minute. Concentration up to 1 minute.
Tree stride is, but that's just self, I think, isn't it?
Let's see.
I have to pull up
You
the
can
player's handbook
transport.
for that.
Okay. Yeah. Tree stride, I think, is just self, but transport via plants is 10 minutes. Excuse me. It's 1 action casting time. It's one round. So 1 round is what, 1 minute or something like that. Because 10 actions, 1 round. Yeah, let's see. For the duration, any creature can step into the. Any creature can step
Any
into
creature
the
can
target
do
plant
the tree stride
and
or
exit.
the transport.
So however many people we can get through in one minute. basically.
Which can
That's the way I
be
read
a lot
that.
of people.
Yeah, you could send a troop through in that if they're all running.
If they're all running, they're all ready as
Can
soon
you-
as it comes.
Can you close it at will, or is it just open for that minute? Is it
Let me see.
concentration?
It's not concentration. No, so it's open for 1 minute. But you can jump through there and be ready for anybody following you.
Or you can stand there for 1 minute and wait till the
Wait for
last
that last second.
Which with Fix would probably be easy enough.
Yeah.
And so much fun.
I say we take Joyve with us. They were concerned with her being here. So maybe it will lull them into a false sense of security. If
Is
they
she
believe
on
she's
the
gone.
is she on the grounds now?
Yes.
Okay, then yeah, we take her with us and bring her back. I was thinking if she wasn't, that we just have her meet us somewhere. But if she's already on the grounds, yeah, take her with us and we will bring her back with us. That makes her safer anyway.
Yes, but it does weaken our wards if she is not on the grounds. So we need.
But
to
they
be
don't
cognizant
know
of that.
she's not. They don't know she'll still be on the grounds.
Oh no.
It'll only be for a short time. Time
Yes.
for us to hide or get out of their sight.
Yes.
We can just walk to whatever woods are on the other side of town. They'll think we're going one direction. And we double back the quick way.
Basically.
Is there a tavern with a that is close to a tree that we can use, that we can slip into, and they will think we're in there?
There's always going to be taverns on the outskirts of town.
Yes. There are taverns on the outskirts of towns. There is taverns. The only one that doesn't is the oily whatever. Because it's below. There's not a whole lot of trees. The oily quill. But pretty much any of them that are on the outskirts of town definitely have trees by them. The King's Crown or the Crown's
Tavern.
The Crown's
near
Tavern
the Decal
has trees by it, but that is also where Gara is staying, you believe. Whether or not she's there or not, that's a different story.
What is the closest one?
But yeah, most of the taverns around the edge of town, which Forsyth, the one that's on the other side of the river, if you cross the bridge, the one that's on the other side of the river, you're very familiar with. And
right.
And I think that was the
There's a lot of pockets there.
Bottomless bucket or whatever. I don't even remember what I called that one.
The Golden Lady is in Lower Key.
Golden Lady, that's it. That's what I called it. The Golden Lady, you're familiar with that one.
Yeah.
You're very familiar with that one. And you are probably somewhat familiar with another one that's kind of on the western side of Key. Just west of the upper portion, like it's just outside of that upper portion of Key, that has some trees by it. That one is called the Badger's Claw.
Okay.
About how long would it take us to walk to these?
The Badger's Claw, it could take you about 30 minutes. The Golden Lady could take you about 35-40 minutes. Though it seems a little bit further away, it's a more direct route. Whereas the Badger's Claw, it takes some twists and turns because you got to get to the lower portion of Key. And of course, the Crown's Tavern is like 15-20 minutes on the other side of the Durkal.
I like the idea of the one that is not a direct route, since we'll have to be, ducking in and out of different roads. So I say we do that. I think that one of us needs to remain here, though.
I don't really
Otherwise, we're
think.
blind to what's going on here.
Can you open a communication line with your mother? Because we don't want them to think we're going to come back.
Yeah.
And she's smart enough to provide whatever information we really might need. But if we leave one of us, they're going to think that something's up.
Yeah. I'll go find my mother.
Okay. At this point, you're gonna catch her probably in the sitting room on the back side of the house, talking to your father. She has a little bit of a look of concern on her face, but your father looks a little bit more just disgusted than anything.
Enjoying
you walk in.
the politics, Father.
Oh, politics. I hate politics.
Many blood-sucking creatures.
Yes.
So, Mother, you said you worked on a way to convey emotions through this link. Do you think
Yeah.
you could still communicate as such the other way?
Like, can I send them to you?
Yes.
I mean, if I think hard enough about it, probably.
Care to test that theory?
I mean, I can. What?
If it works, we have a ploy that may work.
Okay. She'll just kind of look at you for a moment. Let's see if she can keep it from showing on her face. Okay, yeah. She stills herself. You see her take a breath, and she stills herself. And she just kind of looks at you kind of blankly. But you get a sense of anxiety, nervous tension. But she doesn't show it, like, not on her face.
It does work. Good. I'll fill her in on the plan.
Okay. And how does this exchanging my emotion here works with that plan?
Because if they decide to make a move while we're still out, I need to know about it.
Ah, okay. So call you. I see.
Yes.
Got it. Oh, while you're here, you should know. Council has been called for tomorrow morning. Your father and I are expected to attend.
Be careful.
You do know that she is a member of council.
I know
So
she's a member of council, but the fact is there are moves afoot, and you need to be very careful. And maybe we need to be able to get quickly to the council chamber, at least to disrupt things.
Is the seat held by you or by the family?
by the family, technically, it's one of those that it's held by the family unless for whatever the reason that family falls out of favor or caught in treason, things of that nature, in which case it will be taken from the family and handed to another family. Doesn't necessarily, like if I were to commit treason, it would not go to Brumon. It would go to a different family. But if I were to pass on or decide to step down because of age or incapability or whatever, then it would be Brumon to take my place.
Chances are they're going to try to accuse you of treason.
It's entirely possible. It is a dinner. I don't
Do
know
I
that
have
they would do
time
that
to
at
go? Do I think I have time to go take a look at around the council chambers to see what kind of vegetation is therein contained?
Probably that's up to when exactly you want to do this shindig.
Yeah.
Say we do the shindig now. The dinner isn't until tomorrow.
Happy birthday to you.
Birthday cake.
Is it your birthday,
Is
Senior?
it your birthday?
Oh yeah. Well, it's
happy
tomorrow in
birthday.
the States, but it's
Tomorrow.
I say it's not till tomorrow.
Oh, I just got your card.
Just because you live in the future.
Yeah, I live in the future. Yeah, I'm a time lord. Don't like
Well,
the new
happy
one.
early birthday.
Thank you.
Happy birthday.
I'm
All right.
not
Happy
gonna sing to you.
birthday.
That's,
Oh, happy birthday.
that's the
Misery
invite
and despair.
or the
People dying
announcement. That's the
everywhere.
announcement.
Is that the announcement? Yeah.
Okay. Takes
Yeah.
about a week.
University of Arizona.
Got it.
Well, that's a little late, but that's okay. We already watched it. So that
All right.
old man go.
All right. All right. So you want to do this now, Evangeline? While you're up there watching the nanites, you are seeing them. Once they get into a position, it looks like they begin to replicate, and they seem to be covering over that portion of his spine. And it has a very similar, as they're replicating, they no longer look individual as they're, like when one replicates, it looks individual for a little while, but then it becomes almost seamless with the other ones. You can't tell them apart anymore. And as they're replicating and whatnot, you are looking at something very similar to the armor piece that Gara was wearing. Or is wearing. You don't know if she's wearing it or not. You haven't seen her in a while.
Okay.
It seems to only be taking up about this much of his spine right now, though. It's covering the thing. And once it gets covered, it seems to slow down just a little bit.
I'm going to ask Gavian how that feels.
A little groggy. He's like, well, at first it stung, but now it feels a little refreshing, almost.
I will tell him this is very similar to what Gara wears.
Interesting. Well,
I do not know if she knows I have the ability.
I would guess probably not, given her vendetta against Fix. Or Kofik. He probably calls you Kofik, actually. Otherwise, she'd probably have more of a vendetta against you. Kind of giggles.
What if she called me Fix?
Yeah, I don't know if Cavian calls you Fix or Kofik, honestly.
Oh,
I will.
since
Pick
he's
up-
the little brother, it's probably Fix.
Oh, he's the older brother.
No, no.
No,
Dolan
Fix-
is the closest.
Fix is the little brother.
Yeah, since Fix is
Yeah.
the little brother,
Oh,
it's
yeah.
probably
Names
Fix.
tend to
Probably
come from the
Fix.
top down.
That's true.
Um,
That's true.
Although we called my older brother Dinky, so. Well, Larry, my dad was Larry, and my brother was Larry, so it was little Larry, so Dinky.
Oh.
I will pick up the blade that I've completed. And tell him it needs to have a hilt. But I've created you a
Can be
blade.
done. Interesting. And he'll kind of look at it. At this point,
By the way, I have taken off any necklace.
you're disconnecting. Evangeline has disconnected.
While I have this conversation with Gavian.
Okay. Looking at the blade, when you had got it kind of together, it looked like individual nanites, and there was like little lines in it and things like that. As you hand it to him, you notice that a majority of those lines have disappeared. It is beginning to look like a solid piece of metal. These nanites seem to be able to seamlessly almost connect, given enough time.
Since you are without weapon, I created this for you with these nanites, which I believe are very strong. I think they might be very durable.
Oh. This could be cool. I need to make a hilt.
What do you need?
I think I have what I need. Well, maybe. It would be wood. I need a metal hilt. Considering all the banging I hear coming from Fix's room.
We will speak to Fix. Do you
He's got
desire
messing with the blade.
to have more of this on your back, or just where your wound was so deep?
I mean, I don't know yet. What else does it do?
I'm not sure,
Great.
but
I'm a guinea pig.
give me a minute or 10.
Or 10. Got it.
Or 10.
He's gonna
I'm gonna
play with the blade.
actually, before I cast a ritual identify, because I know what it is.
Right.
I'm gonna pull out the book and the
Okay.
quill, and I'm gonna pull the crystal ball out. And I'm going to pull out the cards.
Okay. Okay.
And
What are you looking for?
first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to look in the book for advantages of iron flesh.
Okay.
And see if the book has anything.
All right. It seems like when you're kind of looking at the book, as far as like spines go for Numenera, you see that like spines, iron flesh for the spine is much like armor. They can be enchanted to do certain things. They can be programmed to do certain things. The most basic one is considered a spine of impact. And these basically allow you to have some resistances to bludgeoning damage or fall damage.
Okay.
He can now get into a brawl in the tavern and be able to outbrawl somebody if he wants to. Gavian probably wouldn't do that. Falling, on the other hand.
Give me just a second. I'm going to look over at the cards.
Okay.
The rune, the void, and the moon.
Yeah.
Are the three that we have that are not complete.
Funny thing, as you're looking at it, the moon seems to look complete.
It's a full moon.
It's a full moon.
So somehow in all this we completed the moon.
Do we think it was the skeletal town?
Could have been.
Possibly.
We still have the void and the ruins, right?
Okay. I am going to pick up the necklace, put it back on.
Okay.
Everybody gets a little shock. Oh, Angeline's back.
She's reconnected.
And I'm going to say the moon card is complete.
Interesting.
Fix. We need a hilt for a dagger, preferably if you have extra obsidian.
Obtainium.
Obtainium. Sorry. We don't want to
What are
make
the
it out of.
dimensions of the dagger?
I'll give him.
Standard.
I'll give him. It's a standard dagger. 8.5 inches long. I don't know.
Use your own dagger for reference.
Making progress with the nanites, though.
Good.
You should come see. Gonna go. And I'll take back off the necklace and set it to the side.
She disconnects again. She's finding it rather fun to hang up on you these days.
I think it's funny because I can and nobody else can with that. I'm gonna do a commune.
Okay, you're gonna commune.
I'm gonna cast commune.
All right. Do you know what you're gonna commune?
Yes.
Okay.
I think so.
Fix, as you're working on gathering everybody to do this thing that you're doing right now, Evangeline is unreachable.
Oh no, she is. She's absolutely reachable.
Oh well,
Fix
yeah,
goes
that's
to
true. You have
Gavian's
to
room.
physically go and get her. All right, you go to the room. Do you knock first?
Yes.
Knock 3 times.
How long are you gonna wait at the door?
I'll knock, and then I'll knock again, and then I'll walk in.
Okay. As
So
you
about
walk in,
30 to 45 seconds between.
Supposed to be
okay.
3 times, isn't it? According to Sheldon.
Yeah. So, when you walk in, you see Gavian kind of up. He looks a lot more stable than he has before, and he's about halfway to his bedroom door. He's not moving extremely fast, but he's moving and he's standing up. But he's about halfway to the door when you open it. Evangeline is like sitting cross-legged with all of her artificer stuff, and she seems to be in a trance. What? What are you communing?
I'm going to ask Denier what he knows about Iron Flesh. Is it
Okay. Thank you.
I'm working that. Specifically, I want to know, will the nanites, once they're attached to the flesh, become iron flesh, will they continue to grow on their own, or do they have to be grown? Will they continue to grow on their own?
You get you hear a soft whisper. He's pretty soft whisper. He's, knowledgeable. It's library talk for him. You get until their goal or program is complete. They will grow.
Interesting. Do the nanites already have an embedded program?
Some.
Last question. Have
for
I
$40.
exhausted your resources on the nanites?
You get a sense of completion. Yes. You know all I have to give you, basically. So, Evangeline's in a trance on the floor. Gavian kind of looks at you and says, I would have answered it if you'd given me another minute.
Someone decided to hang up on me.
Well, that someone is a mind of her own. He works his way back to the bed.
I'll actually help him.
Okay. When he turns around, you see, because he's shirtless, you see like a metal plate about that much on his back where the wound was. You can't see the wound anymore, but it's covering the wound. And you help him back to bed. He climbs back into the bed, sits down, kind of props himself up a little bit with some pillows and whatnot, so he can kind of lay there but still interact if you have questions or whatever.
I'll sit on the bed with him while we wait for her to finish her communion. I hear you have a dagger that needs a scabbard.
he gets a kind of a stupid grin on his face. He's like, yeah. And he picks up from the side of the bed, he picks up the blade. And it is just the blade of a dagger. And he kind of hands it to you. And it's the same coloration as the plate that's on his back. You're not 100% sure of the metal. There's definitely obtanium in it. But it definitely seems to be some kind of mixture. And it looks like a finely crafted dagger, and it's pretty sharp.
Is it only the blade, or does it have a hilt and everything?
Well,
and
it is only the blade, but the blade does come down into like a longer metal section that could be attached into a hilt.
So it has the tang on it. Okay.
Right, it has the tang.
Okay. I will mentally take measurements of it and everything and hand it back to him. I'll probably need it for testing, but I'll try to get it done the first try.
That would be
After I finish a few projects of my own.
awesome. Okay. Hopefully I don't need it.
You can still hold it without a handle.
Well, this is true. It's just not balanced the same way.
True. But since Evangeline's still out, Fix kind of reaches into his bag and he'll bring out the locket that he's been working on. And
okay.
Now he gets the big old stupid grin on his face and starts showing it off to Gavian.
All right. Well, he'll ask you questions about it. I know what it's for.
Right.
You know, he looks at it and he says, "That's a mighty fine craftsmanship. You planning on giving it to somebody?"
Yeah.
I'm guessing it's the lovely young woman.
Yeah.
He'll start poking and prodding a little bit, seeing how far he can push it before Evangeline comes out of her trance. As you come out of the trance, you do see Gavian and Fix sitting on the bed. Fix has got another shade of red to him a little bit as he's
I will look up
trying
at
to
them.
avoid some of the questions that Gavian's asking.
I'll just look up at them, reach over for the crystal ball, and pull the crystal ball in front of me.
What are you doing with the crystal ball? Just meditating on it?
I am gazing into the crystal ball.
Okay.
Longing.
And
Oh,
Longingly.
and in my head, I'm thinking Severus,
Okay.
what do you know about nanites? As I gaze into this ball, I'm looking to
Oof.
see if I see anything.
All right.
I'm still learning, but
You start.
I know what I've done before, and I'm gonna keep doing it until I get
Keep
to
doing it
Giselle.
until you get it right. All right. You start thinking about the nanites and focusing on the ball and asking Severus to kind of show you some things through the crystal ball. You see like you're not sure where you're at, but you definitely see nanites crawling about, climbing to each other, attaching each other, um, working, replicating. You see several little flashes of, you see them replicating into armor, you see them replicating into um, spheres of some kind, you see them replicating into what looks like plate armor, only designed to cover the back, the spine. You see spines. You see you see them replicating and forming into buildings. You see them replicating and forming into all kinds of things that you can think of. Um, Anything that would be remotely metal, you've seen them replicate into. And not, you don't really know where, you haven't seen all these places, you haven't, matter of fact, you've probably seen none of these places. It seems very scattered, but it looks like you're kind of gathering that this has got a wide range of possibilities. Nanites can do just about anything you might program them to do.
I'm going to mentally try to reach out to the nanites in the room.
Okay.
And see if I can call them together magically.
As you kind of reach out to them, you do get the sense that they kind of listen. You get, gonna liken this to cats. You get a sense that they're kind of like cats.
Herding cats.
They kind of know their name. They might look at you when you call it, but they're still gonna do their own thing.
I'm gonna pick up one nanite, and I'm gonna start working with it with my tools and kind of, I know they're tiny, working with it and using some magic, whatever, trying to get it. I want to get this one nanite to work together with the other ones.
Okay.
I want to see if I can begin to call them together to create.
Okay. What are you trying to get it to create?
An armor.
Okay.
A mantle.
Okay. All right. You start to program that nanite. You see Fix, you see her pulling a nanite, and she pulls out her tools and she starts working on it. She starts to heavily focus on this nanite. She's gonna get lost in her work for several hours.
I'll interrupt her. I hate to interrupt you, Evangeline, but we have work to do.
What do you think I'm doing here?
We need to go for a stroll. All together in one big group, quite visibly, so that everyone can see that we're leaving. Because the estate is being watched, and my mother has been called to council tomorrow for a dinner.
You do
And he
realize
says-
that I haven't walked around Key without the shroud of invisibility on me in
Then
a
it'll
very
be a
long time.
then it'll be a wonderful breath of fresh air. We want them to see us, because then we're going to return without them knowing.
Who's going to watch Gavian?
My family. They are all here.
Who's going to keep him safe from the rest of these nanites?
I suggest you herd them back into your bag.
Well, in case you didn't notice, I tried to herd them together just a second ago. They are replicating at an exhausting rate. I need to get them working together. I will do a few more tweaks.
Okay. Yeah, you're pretty sure you got it to where it's going to be, you got a few tweaks on it. It's going to take her about 10-15 minutes. But she's got a few tweaks on it where you've got it to where it's going to be like almost like the commanding nanite, where it will call and pull in anything else that it comes in contact with and whatnot. It's going to pull it together. Whether or not you've got it to where it's going to form a mantle, you're not really sure. Right now, it just might turn out to be a sheet of metal. But you got it to where they'll at least pull each other together.
I will hand Gavian my bag of holding.
All right.
If they begin to get out of control, push everything that you can into this bag of holding. Everything I own is in this bag, was in this bag of holding, or is in this bag of holding. With the exception of what's in your 4 right now. But I will pick up the book and the quill and the cards and the crystal ball and put them in my bags, my bag of holding, or my pocket of holding, or tucked in my vest or something.
Well, if
I will stick a feather in my cap and call it macaroni.
So it's not going to be in a pocket. Well, which pocket? Do you have another one that doesn't have something else in it?
Let me see. Damn it.
This is probably the best part. Making you have to, I can't put this in here with that. Where can it go? Oh, what can it do?
Okay, my bag of holding doesn't have anything in it. My pocket, well, it has stuff in it, but nothing in particular.
Okay, it's random stuff. Got it.
Yeah.
All right.
My pocket of holding has the soul stone.
Okay.
Oh, I also had the book and quill of Denier in there at one point.
Yeah, at one point. Where's the orb?
I haven't put it on here yet.
You might want to put it on there somewhere. Unless you've passed it off to Fix. Oh no, Fix has the silver ring, right?
Fix has the silver ring not in a bag anywhere.
Right, it's in a box.
It is in a box. And he also has
the black orb, the orb
black...
of Velsharoon, I don't have anymore.
That Fix
has that.
Oh, okay. Fix has that. Okay.
I have the crystal orb that I haven't put on my sheet yet.
Gotcha. Oh, no, that. Yeah, no, I was wondering where the orb of Velsharoon was. All right. So you have the ring in a box in a pocket, the orb in a bag. Evangeline has the soul stone in her pocket and her book in a bag.
Yeah, my pocket of holding, yeah.
The book bag?
The book bag, yes. Probably has a lot of other books, honestly.
And the other one is in my
Okay.
In my bag of holding.
All right. So you gather yourself together. Gavian has your bag. He's like, well, when I see him, I'll get him in there.
All right.
But rest.
Got it, Doc.
When I get back, I will check that plate.
Okay.
Well then, I will gather everyone and ask Forsyth to lead the way with Joyve and everybody.
On
We're
my
going
way
as a
out, I'll
big-
grab the necklace off the table.
All right.
Yeah, speaking of that, Evangeline, with everything going on, it's probably not a good idea for you to sever our lines of communication.
It is really hard to concentrate on things when you are jabbering in my head.
Yes. But you get used to it. I believe that somebody of your mental acuity
Has
should
more
adapt
important
well,
things to think about.
has the capacity to
Get frustrated.
block out such things.
You don't know some of the people I know.
Same here.
I know some kids who are really bright, but if you talk to them and distract them, they lose it.
They're gone.
I know some adults that way.
I know some me that way.
All right. So you gather everybody together, which is you, or the four of you, Buckley, Joyve, and anybody else?
No?
We should head north.
All right.
Okay. It's
Why
not
are
really
we going
relevant
in the
which
north?
direction we go, but
Well, no, but if we're heading north, it looks like we're going to a certain location.
Oh, I
towards
thought we were just
Riverfall.
going to the pub.
I'm just gonna go to
No,
the
we
bears.
want to make it look like
I
we
thought we
are
were
heading.
looking
out of
like we're
town.
leaving town.
It's going to take us too long and give them too much of an opportunity to do something if we head out. Of town.
But the thing is we don't have to go out of town. We need to
Yeah,
get
we
out
just
of their sight.
out of
To
their
look
sight,
like you're
but
going
look
out of
like we're
town.
heading out of town from there.
But if they have their reach as far as we think, then they're going to have lookouts at the gates as well. At least that's what I would.
Or
we
the
need
other
to get
option is we look like we're heading to one of the places we've used for teleportation before.
That would work too.
Yes, but that is in the lower district, is it not?
I don't know.
One of them is Fennels, which you don't know how public Fennels is. The other one was down in the order of ballots, and the other one has been the Dirk Hall.
How far are we from the Dirk Hall? Because if I'm
That
gonna
one's
be
close.
like out,
That one
let's-
really close.
how about
Isn't
let's
that-
look like we're heading to the Dirk Hall?
Isn't that where Gidnet or Gira is?
Gara is not at the Dirk Hall; she's at the Crown's Tavern.
Oh,
But
gotcha.
right next to the Dirk Hall is very prominent religious order, who also has their hands in a lot of political things. They have a member on the Council of Key. So that's the Dirk Hall. Next to the Dirk Hall, you will have the council chambers, basically, because the Dirk Hall is central in the city. So next to the Dirk Hall, you'll have the council chambers.
Do we know of any
And in the
vegetation
same
near there?
district is the Crown's Tavern. Do what?
Do we know of any vegetation near there? Trees, bushes?
Oh yeah, there are trees everywhere. This section of the town is beautiful with trees
Okay.
and vegetation and just like
Then-
everywhere.
That actually makes sense to go there because they'll think. Did you want some? That way we can actually come back from there, but they'll think we popped out of town on a transporter.
How long
and-
would it take us to get there?
The Dirk Hall itself is closer than the Crown's Tavern, so 15 minutes.
Okay. Then let's do that.
Yep.
All right.
Do
You
we know of multiple entrances and exits to the Dirk Hall?
you know of one that most people don't know about.
Ah,
Yeah.
then we will go in the front door and go out that one. That's I seem to remember that one. And look for the nearest bush from there, and to make our way back to the Trinston estate.
All right. All right. So you head out to the Dirk Hall. I need everybody to roll me perceptions.
Perception.
Perception.
27.
Nice.
When it counts.
Yeah.
20.
A
Oh,
24.
Cadeth coming out of nowhere.
Need to find my dice. Okay. All right. That is 24 as well. 18 on the
All
die.
right. All of you, at least I believe all of you. I could actually roll it, but I doubt I will.
I don't think
Nope.
you're going to beat the 28 or 27
Okay.
there.
Nope. All of you will notice. Well, Forsyth, you notice walking out. You see kind of the scouts kind of coming around that corner. They take note and they go into the pastry shop, where you know that's their routine.
I
But
will let everyone know
they see and take
who
note.
they are.
Yep.
Through the link.
Yeah, so Forsyth points them out and you guys get a good look at them. But all of you will also notice as you're traveling through, about a block or two down the way, you realize that there are a couple of people that seem to be following you. Not the same two that have been watching the estate, but there are a couple of people that seem to be following you. They're not very good at it. They seem to be staying in the shadows, but they kind of have the you sense, Forsyth, just by watching them. You sense that they kind of have the same attitude as the other two scouts, kind of like, I'm doing this because I need to. Like, I don't see what the point is. They don't get it. So they seem to be following at a distance.
But the more people following us right now, the less people watching the estate too.
Well, that's true, but those other two didn't seem to follow you. They stayed by the estate.
They ain't watching the estate if they're getting donuts.
So you think.
Noticing these two following us, not like super loud, but just loud enough to be overheard. We'll start talking about, we're gonna, after this, we'll do just kind of laying the illusion that we're
Going to
leaving.
Weirfall.
Yeah.
Go to Weirfall. We're gonna go to Weirfall.
Yeah, well, that would be the best place to make them think we're going.
Or you can make them think that you're going way up north again.
That's what I would prefer. I want them to come attack the compound or the estate while we're there, because I don't want to go and attack her in her home.
Right.
So
home field advantage.
Yeah,
this is true.
So yeah, I just talk about going up north, and then after that we'll, go whatever city Shallows in. Say that I have to see a cat about a thing. Yeah.
A cat about a thing.
I will, since everybody's talking loud, I won't necessarily talk loud, but I won't necessarily be behind. Ask Joy Vey about what exactly she needs to teleport someone to a specific person.
Oh, she will tell you that she doesn't do that herself, but she's heard of it being done. It takes quite skill in the teleportation magics, and often having some planar magic behind it. Basically, you just need an item of value to the person, and it's gotta be attached to the person in some manner. And then the other side of it it can be anything, the other side of it. So basically, the one that's attached to the person, that's the anchor in essence, but the other thing that actually initiates that magic will send the person to the anchor. It's almost like divine casters often think of it a little bit more like sanctuary, something of that nature, where you can get home quickly or to a safe spot fast, or it's more attached to the item than to a person, if you get my meaning.
I'm going
Where,
to
where
across
can
the.
I find such a person?
I don't know, somebody who's greatly skilled in magics. I mean, they've got to be well versed in magics.
I'm going to across the
I
link recommend that we shut the door behind us when we get to the dirt hall.
You're coming in really
Uh,
low there, senior.
oh, sorry. I'm going to recommend that we shut the door and lock it basically when we get to the dirt hall, so that it at least slows them down, so they don't know whether we teleported or went out the back door,
Agreed.
side door.
And eventually, and I think I know somebody that may be able to help you with that. And over the link, I'll say, remember we did make acquaintance with somebody versed in planar magic, a planeswalker.
Oh, I forgot the guy from Saji.
Yes.
Wow, look at you go, Joe.
Yeah, that was a while ago. That was what's his name? The
I don't never
Drow.
remember his name, but
Manoverin,
Manoverin, that's right.
yes.
the planeswalker.
Very well. I forgot them.
But just the fact that Joe remembered something.
Right? Mark it down.
Have
Hey.
you been secretly reading your notes?
Nope.
And secretly making them?
Nope.
As you make it to the dirt hall, you do notice that the two that are following kind of slow down a little bit. Doesn't look like they intend to enter the dirt hall, but just kind of keep tabs. And so they slow down a little bit and watch you guys enter the dirt hall. You shut the door behind you, and that is where we're going to pause because I need a bio break.
Pause that refreshes.
That's right.
All right.
So we'll
we
be
will
right
return.
back.
After these messages.
3, 2, 1.
Hello
And
and
we're back.
welcome back. All right. You are just inside the Dirk Hall. You have shut the doors. There is a little bit of courtyard before you hit the main building. So there's some space there. Do you plan on going to the main building or just stay in the courtyard and move around?
Stay in the
Probably go
courtyard.
through. Oh, we don't want to go through the building? Is there anyone
Well,
out here?
where's the exit that we're going to?
The exit is not far from the secret tunnel from the main building to a shed toward the back.
Right. So that's where we want to go. Is to the tunnel. Or, we want to go out the back door.
Okay.
We want to give plausible deniability to those in the Dirk Hall, so that they don't have to say.
You know where that tunnel is inside the main building to get to the
Right.
shed unseen.
Yeah.
You know where that's at.
I think that's where we need to head.
All right. So inside the building.
Right.
All right. You head into the building. You see a few people that kind of nod as you walk by, recognizing you from last time you were here, and the council that was here, and that the council interacted with you, and especially you, Evangeline. They take a little bit more pause, recognizing that you were actually taken to Duranet the Sixth. And so they give a little bit more pause and reverence towards you. You walk on into the Dirk Hall. You know your way to the tunnel. You can walk there with confidence. Is that you going straight there? You're not going anywhere else?
Pretty
Just want to make
much.
sure.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. You head straight to the tunnel,
Not
keeping an
time for
eye out.
conversation.
Yeah, keeping an eye out. You pace yourself so that hall is empty for you to duck into that room. So you duck in, you go into the tunnel. You've been in this tunnel a few times. You know where to avoid certain things, and you make your way to the shed. From the shed, you want to get to the wall, making a big circle. I need, at this point, as you're going to come back out into the courtyard, at this point, you don't want to be seen. So I'm going to need some stealth rolls.
Does Kadath roll those at disadvantage?
I think so.
15.
Yeah, sorry, I was muted. Yes, I do.
All right. Fix is going to bend the laws of order and chaos and make it so that you do not roll that as disadvantage.
Okay, well, the first one I rolled was the lower one anyway, so. But it was still a 16.
Oh, well, 16's not horrible.
That beat me. I had a 15. I should have
17.
passed without trace.
17. You could have. Evangeline.
I got a 14.
14.
So we had a 14, 15, 16, and 17.
All right. You guys exit out of the shed. Evangeline, Forsyth, and Fix. You will see a servant or a page outside, tending to the garden. She kind of glances your way, but doesn't stop what she's doing.
I'm going to cast Infestation.
Okay.
Opposite side of her. I will do a. You can do any kind of bug. Yes, that I know of. I'm going to cast Infestation on the
Turn on.
plant opposite from where we are to make her look the other way.
Oh, okay.
Hopefully.
Yeah. You cast that. After she kind of glances your way, she hears something over there and she turns and she watches that. You guys make your way to the wall and you get outside the wall. Outside the wall, there's any tree you want to take to,
We're looking for bushes.
or bush.
Yeah, we're looking for as large a bush as we can find. And then as soon as I find what I'm looking for, I will cast transport via plants.
All right.
And I will
go.
ask folks to wait, and we will wait for 54 seconds. And then usher people through.
All right. You find a bush that's fairly secluded,
Right.
large enough to handle you, and you're pretty sure that you can do this unseen. You wait
Right.
for a little while, and Fix says, "Hold, hold, now," and you all go through.
And get jammed in the doorway.
And
Oh.
get,
I will actually come through last, just in case.
Okay. All right. And you all plop out in the courtyard of the Trinson estate.
Actually, it's not in the courtyard.
Oh, where are you going to?
We are in the back, near the back door.
Oh, okay. All right. So you will be in the back.
In a secluded area
Okay.
that they can't see from their little watch point on the fence line. Because I know where they watch from.
Yeah, you do know where they watch from, so you're going to be able to do that. You're going to be able to pop in there. You kind of know at about the right time, kind of keeping an eye on things, where exactly to pop in, where they won't see you. And you shuffle in or you shuffle out, you spill out just outside the house and work your way in quickly. And you're inside now. You've probably piled into the tiny hallway just outside the office, honestly, because that's the back door to the estate. And working your way back into the house. Anything in particular that you're going to do?
Yes.
Yes.
I'm going to attempt to get in a long rest, even if it's just a daytime rest.
Okay. All right. So you see Forsyth kind of disappear into a room. His room.
Whatever room I'm in.
Yeah. And he's like,
Call me if you need me.
need to make sure that spell's available when we need it.
Yeah, because I got no 5th or 6th right now.
So he disappears into the room and he begins to rest. The rest of you, is there anything in particular that you're going to be doing?
Yeah.
Okay.
So Fix is going to head to his room after he lets his mother as well as Isabella know that they've returned.
Okay. As you kind of let people know that you've returned, you find Zybella. Would it be Zybella? No, it would not be Zybella. You would find Vineth. Vineth is in the kitchen, as he normally is. He's usually scrounging for food or messing with the servants or something. He's kind of a jokester. You find him in the kitchen, and he seems to be fiddling with some food. He's not really eating it. He's just fooling around with it, playing with it a little bit. And he looks at you and he says, "You were gone. How long? Like 20 minutes?"
Approximately. Well, we'll just go with approximately for now.
He kind of smiles. He's like, "Yeah." It's like, nothing too important. Nothing I was going to try to signal you for, but I could feel the wards being tested. They just poked, prodded, see if they could find some weakness.
Do you think they found it?
I don't think so.
How long after we left did it start?
About 10 minutes. lasted about 3 or 4 minutes. And then it stopped.
Have you had a chance to speak with Joy Vey?
I have not. I imagine Joy Bay went to find Zybella.
Well, let's go find them.
All right. He'll follow you. You find Joy Bay, and who found Zybella probably in her room, most likely.
Joy Vey, I think you should check your wards. It seems they started poking and prodding. Just want to be sure.
All right.
Burnett
will
said
do
he could
that.
feel them poking and prodding, so maybe he has some insight as to what they may have found.
All right. She will nod to Vaneth and say, "All right, let's go." And she will lead Vaneth out, and they will head back downstairs and whatnot. And you are there with Zybella. Apparently.
He smiles and, gives her kisses and hugs and all that fun stuff. All the kissy faces.
The kissy faces, heart eye emojis.
Yes. Looks like he had something else on his mind that he was going to do, but decides that he wants to spend time with her.
All right.
The
Well,
necklace can wait.
she will gladly accept that time. Evangeline, I imagine
Yes?
you go and check on Gavian.
Oh yeah.
All right. You
Checking
find
out
Gavian.
my nanite progress.
You find Gavian in the room. He's holding the bag of holding. And he's like, he was in a corner. You see him kind of stooped over on the ground. And when he hears the door, he stands up and turns around. He's like, I think I got them all.
Good. What about the one that I commanded? Is it in the bag?
Oh, yeah, I put all of them in the bag.
Let me check your back.
What? Okay. He'll turn around. He's still shirtless. He's at home. He ain't wearing a shirt.
So it's all fine by me.
He hasn't left his room either, so nobody to yell at him. When he turns around, you see the plate, is maybe about an inch longer. Like, not much.
It's growing.
I can feel it.
I'm going to reach in my bag of holding and I'm going to call that one.
The
and
one
see if
nanite.
just the one comes out or if it's grown or what's going on with it.
You
The
call
one
forth that
nanite to rule them all. Oh, sorry.
right. you
I
call.
gave it a mission.
You did give it a mission. You call forth that one nanite, and you feel it's definitely not just a nanite. You feel like almost a sheet of metal kind of go into your hand, and you pull it out. And as you pull it out, you do see a couple nanites kind of grabbing a hold of it, and looks like they're interweaving into that sheet of metal. It's collected quite a few. I mean, you've got a sheet of metal that's like this big, with a few more kind of attaching to it.
Needs to be bigger.
I mean, can only go so fast. Leave it in there with all the other nanites.
I'll slide it back in.
All right, you slide it back in there.
I want to do, wait a minute, let me move this window out of the way. I don't know what I want to do. I want to
All right.
check the plate on his back. I want to check and I want to investigate
Okay.
its attachment to the skin.
Okay. It's not going to require an investigation roll. You know, you poke and prod and pull and push and all of that. You see, it looks integrated into the skin.
Okay.
It's going to take
It's getting
ripping
longer.
it off.
It's getting longer, but not wider.
Right. It's staying with the spine. Gets a little bit more narrower toward the bottom, but not much.
I'm going to look at Gabby and go, are you okay with this?
I mean,
It was quite a happy accident. I did not tell them to collect on you.
apparently one of them's programmed for something. It's gotten all the other ones in on it, or at least all of these in on it. We'll see. We'll see what it does. Might be perfectly fine. Might be kind of cool, actually.
Yeah, it might be. Okay.
All right. Anything you wish to, Forsyth, you're sleeping. You're resting.
Yeah.
Anything
Thought it was the
you
smartest use of my time.
right? Anything you wish to do for the rest of the evening?
I had forgot about one thing
What would you like to do?
had meant to be doing.
What's that?
Which of us is the one that's good with like shaping jewels and stuff like that?
Evangeline and Fix can both handle jeweler's kits. They both have jeweler's tools.
Okay. Well, whichever one's less busy.
I think they're probably both equally busy.
Evangeline's playing with nanites and Fix is playing with Zybella, so take your pick.
Yeah.
Well, the nanites are just sitting and watching, right?
Pretty much.
Gabby
Okay.
and I are having an adult relationship, not a junior high school one.
Well, you know.
Something to be said about age.
Because I've got two of those gems or whatever from the crystal field.
Yep.
Two of the crystals, and I was wanting to get them shaped. So
Okay.
I'm gonna take them to Evangeline and basically describe how I want them shaped. Essentially, they're like fist-sized gems that I want as a dodecahedron. So 12-sided.
You want 12-sided? Okay. All right.
Want to play like a barbarian with a great axe with your D12s?
You know.
I need them for my game tonight. No.
These are my D12s that I'm gonna throw at people because they weigh a couple pounds.
Okay.
All right. Jeweler's tools. Give me.
And I have I think I grabbed a few of them, not just. I know I was originally gonna get two, but I think I grabbed a couple extra.
How long is that going to take?
Dex check with proficiency.
How long would it take? Because if it's gonna take a while, I'll have both of them work on it.
And if
take a
Fix
little
could
while.
just fabricate,
That's true too.
which takes 10 minutes.
I got a nat 20.
It's not going to take very long.
And I have a +1 on my dex and a +4 to proficiency.
All right.
Nice.
She takes a look at them, and she's like, "Oh yeah, these are good for doing that. You know, you got kind of the right size, the right shape of the raw material. It shouldn't take too long at all." She kind of cuts them down, maybe an hour. Chips them just so. It'll take longer to polish them than to cut them, so she starts the polishing process.
Right. Okay. Well, I'll leave her to it and come back, in a couple hours or whatever. But
All right.
if once they're done, if it's still early enough, then I have something I want to do, but I would need some invisibility to do it. So
Okay, I got that too.
because I want to make a visit somewhere, but
Hey, I'll go with you.
well, I was gonna say either one of us could make us both invisible. I forgot I do have invisibility,
That's totally up
don't
to
I?
you.
Oh wait,
You
or
have
do I?
approximately
No, I don't. Never mind. But you do.
5 hours, maybe 6 hours before sundown.
Okay.
So
Then probably
3
late
3
in
hours
the evening,
Evangeline
but
will pretty much be done.
yeah. So maybe like half hour before sundown
Okay.
is when I'd want to leave.
Okay.
And take them and make a trip over to I can never remember her name, the seer,
Giselle.
Giselle.
When I'm done cutting and everything, I got the decahedrons. I'll grab or make sure it's in my pocket or my bag of holding or whatever.
All right. You guys make a trip to Giselle's.
I'll cast
Invisibility
on us.
All right.
Invisibility.
Invisibility. You can roll me stealth with advantage.
So normal.
Yeah. With advantage.
Well, Forsyth is resting, isn't he?
Yes, he is.
So I won't worry about going for the pass without trace. Eh, 18.
Hey, I got an 18.
All right. With your pairs of 18s, you pretty quiet. Coming out of the Trinson estate, there was nobody watching you as you were exiting the estate. You make your way to Giselle's. You enter Giselle's. And you see Giselle kind of sitting at her table. She's kind of half asleep with her crystal ball sitting in front of her.
I'll nudge Evangeline to drop the invisibility, basically. Or tell her. Well, I can tell her through the link, but.
All right. You drop invisibility?
Yep.
All right. She smiles.
I'm sure you knew I was coming at some point.
I'm pretty sure you both were coming at some point.
The question is, do you know why I'm here?
Probably in relation to the fortune that I told you the last time you were here.
That's one of the two reasons.
Oh, what is the second?
Well, first that one, because it's relatively easy. Figured it out, solved the problem.
Good.
Happened to be someone in the order that was definitely not following the Raven Queen in the right way. Second, though, and I don't know if you have this ability, but I'm sure you would be more likely to know who would if you don't. I'd like to take these gems and I'll pull them out. and figure out a way to essentially make a permanent link between them
Okay.
to where they would almost a mix between sending stones and crystal ball in a way where you can, or a seeing device essentially, where one of them, and I would specify which one, could be placed somewhere, and the other one could be used to see and hear things going on around it.
It's a spy camera.
But essentially, you'd have where
Spy
you
cam.
would look at a different facet to get the different angles.
That's intricate. But there's a few people that can do that. There is, of course, Shallows and Farbron. I can't remember the wizard's name. She would give you the wizard's name.
Yeah.
Not Shallows.
Corini.
Corini, that's right. Corini. There is Corini and Farbron. That
Okay.
can do that.
I'm sure Fix would be happy to visit there.
Fennel might be able to, but he's getting up there in age. Who knows what you might get from him.
The proxy old brother. Oh.
Yeah, that's her brother. There is, of course, if you go outside the steadfast, there are some elven traditions in the Baadinu forest that you may be able to find.
Okay.
There is most likely one to the north. And where is the city? I need the city name. To the north, directly north, the city of Bridges. Why did I not remember that name?
City of Bridges.
There is one up in the city of Bridges as well. Let's see, can I remember his name? Or better yet, can the DM find a name? Oh, stop that. Oh, stop that.
City of Bridges is
East Coast. Or sorry, West Coast.
oh, there it is. Oh, not too far north from here, relatively speaking.
You will find a man by the name of Meus.
Mayos.
Meus. Us. M-E-U-S. Meus.
Okay.
Who could probably do such a thing as well.
Well, I know we could trust one in Farbron for sure. And likely the one in the Baadinu Forest. Or any other of them there. Okay. Question is, can I get there and get it done quickly or not? I'm guessing this will take time.
Oh yes, we're talking a couple of enchantments for this, I believe.
A few days minimum.
Minimum.
Okay. Well, it's a long-term project anyways. I wasn't super concerned about trying to get it done quickly.
Very well.
At least not at the moment.
Evangeline,
Yes.
pull out your orb.
Yes.
Giselle is telling you to pull out your orb.
Yes. Knowing what I know doesn't surprise me.
She says, sit.
I will sit.
Hold your orb.
Thus.
Close your eyes
I'll close
and
my eyes.
feel it.
With my eyes closed, I will concentrate on the orb and see what I can feel.
Roll me an intelligence check.
Oh. That is a 22.
All right.
Oh, wait a minute. Oh, no, you said check.
Check.
Right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
a check. All right. You begin to just kind of think on the orb. You feel it vibrating. As you feel it vibrate, you feel after a short amount of time, you start paying attention to the vibrations and you feel more, even though at first it felt like the whole orb was vibrating, you take time to concentrate, and this takes a good 10, 15 minutes, 20 minutes. You're like 20 minutes into just sitting there with your eyes closed. Kadeth and Giselle are probably having tea and cookies. And you start to feel no longer that the whole thing is vibrating, but it's actually pulsing. And it's not the whole thing that is pulsing. It's actually just veins within it seem to be pulsing. You start to realize that all of these veins are interconnected, much like you would see a river delta or something of that nature. You know, they're all interconnected and they run across the whole orb. As you sit there and you kind of feel it, you start to move your hands around it to actually encompass it so that you can feel the whole orb. And you realize that they span the whole orb. Like there's no beginning, there's no end. They're all over the place. What you feel like you have a little bit of power with these pulses.
I'm going to take those pulses and I'm going to concentrate and like almost like not exactly slow them down, but like feel each one and kind of feel the rhythm.
Okay. As you feel that, you feel that each vein almost has a different pulse to it.
Okay.
Some of them are a lot slower. Some of them are really fast. You see kind of where they interact. There's a moment of pause as it passes through. Like the intersections seem to not pulse at all.
Okay.
They don't seem to pulse at all. So it's kind of like they hit and then they pass through. It's like just a constant pressure at the intersections almost, as opposed to a pulse.
As I'm feeling this all happening, I'm going to let my thoughts drift, and I'm going to let them drift. Gidna.
Echidna. All right. As they drift, you got a hold of the ball, and as they drift to Gidna, you feel one vein seems to pulse a little bit faster.
Okay. I'm going to concentrate on that one.
You're going to concentrate on that vein. All right. As you concentrate on that vein, your hands, you just naturally, as you concentrate on that vein, your hands start to move to where you're almost drawing the vein with your fingers across the orb, and it's kind of intricate how you put your fingers on the orb. And you just kind of turn it to where it's most comfortable in your wrists, and you feel it. You feel it wanting to show.
I'm going to open my eyes and look at it.
All right. As you open your eyes and look at it, at first it's kind of cloudy. But you do see a flash.
Meatballs.
Meatballs. You do see a flash of Gidna in the cell, in the basement of Weirfall, like Kadeth described when he scried on her.
Right.
It was Kadeth that scried on her, right?
Yes.
You see that flash briefly. And then you see her in Rarmon. She seems to be within the machine. You recognize the inside of the machine. She's scratching. You see her scratching. You get another flash, and you see her in a wagon. She seems bound, actually, in this wagon, and it's moving. Then you see her. It flashes again, and you see her in a bed in an inn somewhere, still bound. You see, as it continues to go, it starts to get a little bit more hazy. You see her standing outside the Trinson estate. You see her standing before a group of people, still bound. You're not really sure. Each one gets a little bit more fuzzy, and as the last one kind of fades, you see her in another cell, and it just kind of is very, very hazy. You're not quite sure that's what it looks like. You're not quite sure what it is, and then that pulse starts to slow down again.
Okay. I'm going to look up at Giselle.
She's smiling, sipping tea, pinky up. You see Kadeth with a cookie.
Giselle's cookies and Kadeth.
Yeah, that's true. He's popping another one.
I love bite-sized cookies.
Well,
I'm going to say to Giselle, I felt it. Pulse. And when I let my thoughts drift, I felt one particular pulse increase. And I saw things that I believe maybe are things that have been. I'm not sure about all of it. Some of it I recognize as possible times, places that have passed.
She says, "Did the pulse ever change direction?"
No?
Then most likely you were seeing chronologically.
This was forward. So the things that I saw a little bit clearer were things that were in the past that I already knew about, whereas we progress towards the future or to the present towards the future, that's when it became hazy.
Yes, the future is often unclear. We take our best guess, and it can also change, which is why it's often unclear.
Well, nothing is set until decisions are made and
Exactly.
carried out. Is this how it always is?
This is how it always is. Most of the future that you see through an orb is futures that could be if the natural paths are taken.
I understand.
It may take a while. As you know, I can see through an orb without holding it.
But I
Nope.
am a novice.
Yep. Over time, you will learn to see the pulses.
Severus has been good to me.
So he has.
Thank you.
Come see me again.
I'm sure I will.
Take a cookie for the road.
I take a cookie. Never refuse her cookies. You may need them.
Mhm.
Bring us all some. Damn. Oh,
All right.
I will cast invisibility on Kadeth and I again.
And she will go back to her little pose at the table and kind of close her eyes and kind of drift again. As you guys head back to the Trinson estate. You guys make it all the way there. You pop into the estate. You show up there probably just after sundown. Everybody starts to seem to be coming downstairs and out of rooms and things. The smell of dinner is in the air. You guys head to dinner, I assume. Gavian seems to, as he's coming down the stairs, he's putting on a shirt.
About time.
And they all head to the kitchen.
As he comes down the stairs, I'll run my hand down the center of his back.
Okay. The plate maybe grew another quarter of an inch, perhaps.
Just keeping an eye on it.
Yeah. It's slowed down a lot at this point.
He may need a nanite infusion.
Infuse some nanites. All right. You guys head to dinner, I'm sure. Forsyth, you're probably actually still sleeping. Although I don't know.
Probably because it could be a long night.
Yeah. So, boop. I just kicked the cat. You could still be sleeping. The rest of you head to dinner. Is there anything you wish to discuss, plan on, etc., etc.?
I will mention to Fix when I get back that I'd like to see about visiting his friend Shallow and the wizard he lives with. More the
She.
wizard, but she. More the wizard as opposed to Shallow, but I know you'd prefer to visit Shallow.
If it's enchanting, it's probably going to be more shallow than the wizard. Well, maybe. I don't
It's
know.
possible. It's hard to say. But I'm sure between the two of them they would be able to figure out what I'm wanting.
Mm. I'm sure we can make a trip there next time we head out of town.
Yeah. And it's not super urgent, but it's one of those, whenever we can make time for it. Although I could certainly see uses for it immediately, but
I want to see what they do before right now.
yeah, I agree.
All right. At dinner, Arias will let the family know. I mean, all of the family kind of already knows that she's been called to council. But she will let the family know that she is going to attend council. They are having brunch, I guess. Mid-morning, they're going to have some dinner, or they're going to have some food. They're going to have some social time. She informs you that this is not uncommon with council, that they will do this frequently. And oftentimes when foreign dignitaries are in town. That being said, we know Gera is present. More than likely, Gera will be there.
Should I join you?
Probably best not to at this time. Usually it's not a family affair, hence why I will often give, you are muted, Forsyth,
Oh,
if you were talking to
how
us.
how about we take a position outside of the council chambers, in a hidden position? We can sneak in there.
That is a possibility if you wish to do that.
Actually, we can gather into the courtyard of the Zerkal, where we left from in the first place. They would
Yeah.
never know how we got around.
There is that.
With your ability, we can simply leap from here.
That's true too.
True, we could. 1/6 level splat, but that's okay. It's worth it.
So yeah, so in the council, no, if you choose to surround the building, spy the building, sneak inside, I have plausible deniability. So yeah, if you wish to do that, I won't say no. However, your father and I are both going to be at that event. But that is usually why I hold balls when foreign dignitaries are here, so that the family can see who is present and possibly hear word of things that were discussed.
But the more quickly we can respond to any issues, the better.
This is true. Well, I can, if you are able, fix. It's the only time I'm going to say it. You can connect with me telepathically if you are able. I can give you instant feedback or instant replay, whatever you need. If you have some other means, I can attempt to try that as well?
No, I think the telepathy is probably the best option we have now. And I can do so in the morning.
All right then. Um, then we'll proceed as planned, and we'll see what happens. She will finish up her dinner and give your father a look, give Morgrim a look, and he will finish up his dinner, and they will make their way out and upstairs. The family is there. I mean, they will slowly get up and trickle out unless you need them all to be there for whatever reason. And kind of go about their business.
No need.
All right. Anything you wish to discuss before the next day comes?
Fix will probably retire to his quarters and finish the pendant.
All right. I'm going to say you're going to be able to finish that tonight. There was just little things that, smoothing things out, making sure edges are not pokey and things like that.
Don't know if this is going to work. Actually, that's kind of no. Never mind. He's not going to do that.
Okay.
A
Scratch
little
that.
bit invasive for him to do that. So no.
Ah. Yeah, you're not an invasive person. Well, Fix is not an invasive person. Some of your other characters have been. All right. Evangeline, you're going to find yourself in Gavian's room, I'm going to assume.
Yep, I'm going to take all my constructs.
All right.
I'm going to go to Gavian's. I'm going to set Buckley on watch.
All right. Watch that Phalathus.
Yeah, make sure he doesn't come in.
Big old statue lumbering in.
Well, so far you haven't actually seen him move.
And as we're sitting there, I'm going to ask Gavian, so how long are you going to be on hiatus? And I'll touch his, because he doesn't have a pendant anymore.
No, he does not. Hiatus, I probably will be good to go tomorrow morning. But yeah, the pen, I just don't have one until I find mine from Weirfall, I guess. I'll get it back eventually.
And I will look at him and say, I have no doubts.
It'll just take time.
And I'm not a perfect gentleman. I will snuggle up in the bed with him. Curtains closed.
Curtains closed. Got it. Forsyth, you're sleeping until about halfway through the night.
Right.
Kadeth, you just go to bed. Yep. All right. Fix after you're done with your pendant, which takes a little bit of time. You're gonna get a brief moment. You're gonna feel it. You're gonna get a brief moment of like sadness, kind of mixed with determination.
Do I know where it's coming from?
Not exactly, no. But having the feeling, it's family member. And, well, Most of your family members are here.
I have utilized this to connect with, I think, every member of the house that's here.
Yes.
The only one that I haven't is Gidna. Does it feel like any that I have connected with before?
That's true. It is an familiar yet unfamiliar connection. No, this is not one that you have connected with thus far.
I will send back a feeling of sort of like a comforting hug. Like, we're doing everything we can. Hang in
All
there.
right. All right. And you send it back. You know from that feeling and thinking on your connection with the members of the Jagged Dream and whatnot, you know she's in the city. She's in Key. Forsyth, you wake up in the middle of the night,
Right.
rested, prepared. You wander the grounds as usual.
Actually, I'm going to wander the roof.
Wander the roof. All right. You move through the house to get up to the roof. Roll me a perception. Your passive perception's really kind of high.
20.
20. All right. With a 20, as you pass through the foyer the first time, fills off. You start to
Okay.
look around. Blythus isn't there.
I will immediately raise alarm. So that's worth doing that.
You all get jolted out of your sleep by Forsyth going, "He's gone." Where did he
Who's
go?
gone?
Fillet of fish.
Fillet of fish.
I will attempt to connect with them.
You feel a connection.
Might I ask why you are no longer on the estate grounds?
Job to do.
For who?
On whose behalf?
Varys.
Is it counter to what is good for my family and the organization?
I do not believe so.
Are your protections still in place while you are gone?
They are.
Anything that you can tell me?
No.
Why don't I trust the situation?
Because it's that stinking statue. He's untrustworthy. I've been telling you guys this the whole time. Nobody won't listen to me.
No one has said that he is trustworthy. It's more that there's not much we can do about it right now.
You have a forge.
I don't want to. I don't want to find out what happens, and I also don't want to release him from his duties, because then he's a free agent, and I don't like that idea.
That's a little more scary.
Yeah.
Sounds like to me he's already a free agent. or at least
Mm,
you're not his top priority.
no,
Sorry,
we're not.
Fix.
This is part of an agreement that he is his true master has made.
Does that mean?
Well,
Does that mean the Trinston serve Vera?
no, they made a deal. The organization made a deal with her long ago, if I remember correctly.
The Jagged Dream
You are remembering correctly.
made a deal with the devil.
Hmm.
Actually,
Well, I don't
she's
know
not
that
a
I'd call
devil.
her a devil. She's pretty neutral,
I was gonna say
actually.
she's neutral. That's what I thought.
Anything I can do to help?
No. Be back by morning.
Look forward to seeing you.
How long do you
And
stay in the foyer, Forsyth? Or do you continue on to the roof?
I'm going to continue on to the roof.
Okay. You continue on to the roof and you sit on the roof. After a little bit of time, the sun begins to rise. Breakfast can be smelled. And y'all kind of start to come in. You catch a glimpse of the two every so often, Forsyth, because you already
Right.
know to look for them. You kind of catch a glimpse of them every so often. But it seems that most activity they've slowed down a lot. Like they're not moving in their 20-minute pattern anymore. They're moving like more in an hour-long pattern. They're a lot
So
slower.
they got in trouble.
And so they're there, but they're moving a lot slower. And but the rest of you start to come down for breakfast and whatnot. And those of you who know that he was gone, when you go to the foyer, he's there. He's standing there as usual, stoic and unmoving, expressionless because he is faceless.
Here's looking at you, kid.
Yeah.
I'm gonna connect back with him. Welcome back.
Thank you.
In your travels, do you know a way to guarantee, in your experience, do you know a way to guarantee the removal of a golden scarab without harming the host?
Best way to do that is totally dependent upon the host's willpower.
Good enough.
Possible if she hasn't been broken.
I think it's getting close, so we need to hurry. Depending on what happens today, might be time to go on the offensive. I'll head to breakfast.
All right. You head on to breakfast. Everybody's there, even your mother, your father. They eat very lightly. Um, as breakfast kind of ends, your mother says, "Oh, well, your father and I are going to head to council shortly. We are going to prepare ourselves."
In preparation, I will connect with her.
Very well. She says, "Still can't get used to it."
No,
It's
but it's
interesting.
a necessary evil, I suppose.
It is the fastest means of communication, I suppose.
Telephone, telegraph, tell a woman.
Tell a woman. That's right. So her and your father get prepared. They're dressed up in finer clothing. They have some a medal of sorts with the symbol of Key and the symbol of the Trinston estate kind of attached to it. They're dressed in their council attire. You've seen them dressed this way a couple of times in your youth, but being that you weren't home very often, you didn't see it often. They head out, and they go to the council chamber. Do you guys wait here, or do you guys decide to wait elsewhere?
I think we're going to wait at the Dirk Hall because it's a short run to the council chamber.
But during that time, the estate is left unguarded.
But
I
anyone
believe that
who's
this may be. Believe they may be trying to divide our attention.
do you want to leave? Do you want me to stay here? I can. No, because I can't go that far. I can fly over if I need to, but I can defend defend the estate better than anyone else singularly. At least I think I can.
The problem is, I don't think it'll be a singular attack if they do attack.
Yeah, but when I take like a earth elemental form, that's massive for them to have to hit. Because I guess we could keep 2 at each place.
How long?
Probably Evangeline and I would stay here, and you and Kadeth would go to the chambers or to the Dirk Hall.
You're the only one that's able to transport quickly.
How long?
Yeah, but I can only do it once.
Yeah.
I'd have to fly in otherwise.
I was thinking, how long does Windwalk last? But can you individually control when you come in and out, or does Forsyth have to do that if he casts it?
I would have. It's a concentration spell. Windwalk is.
Right.
And I would have to be with them.
Okay.
Never
mind then.
Actually, no. It's not a concentration, but I would still have to be with them because there's a range, 30-foot range. Unless I was to drop them off there.
The 30-foot range is only for casting it, but then it's
true
set at that point. And can't we control ourselves in and out of it?
It's still a 6th level spell, though.
Oh, they're the same.
So, and I only have 1 6th level spot.
Joyve, would you be able to drop us in front of the council if necessary, or in the council if necessary?
I probably would not be able to get you in the council.
Or we could.
I know where the council building is, and could probably.
We could do it this way.
Front of it.
We could stay here and just. We know where the bushes are in that area. I studied them a lot, and we could just use that one spot. Everyone stay here in case this gets attacked, but be on guard to take off right away to get to the council chambers through transport via plants.
That's what I was thinking, but that would use your slot.
One way or another, going to end up using that spot.
Yeah, but if Joyve can drop us in front, then that alleviates the need for you to use that.
I still would need to get here as quickly as possible if it comes to that.
No, we stay here.
You all stay here.
Oh, we'll all stay here then.
Yeah, we all stay here.
Joy Bay
Guard
can
this.
send you if need be.
I have
Okay.
a connection with my mother. If anything goes awry, she sends us.
All right. I'll be up on the roof.
All right. And that is where we're going to end tonight's session. Arias and Morgrim are on their way to council chambers, and the four of you and Buckley are at the Trinson estate. Phalathus has returned, and waiting for a possible attack.
We
And we
need
do
2
know
more
that
thumbs up.
Gidna is in the city.
Not everyone's put their thumbs up on YouTube.
Thumbs up on YouTube.
Yeah,
I did.
we'll see how this goes.
I did too, but there's one other there. But
Me?
So,
I seem to be the only one that follows us on all of these social media.
so if you are watching and you are not following, do it.
Please do.
Do it. Like, subscribe, turn on the notifications, leave a comment. Let us know
And
that you're watching.
we are on TikTok now, even though
We
we don't
are.
have a link on the website.
Yes.
Yeah.
We are on TikTok. You can find us on TikTok. How can they find us on TikTok? Under Dungeons and Dad Jokes? Or are we under something else?
Dungeons and Daddies comes up when you go looking
Yeah.
for it.
We're not Dungeons and Daddies.
I gotta find my.
It's let me see. I'm just confirming the link.
Oh, duh. Wait a
It's
minute.
at DNDAD jokes. I'm gonna put it in the chat.
DNDAD Jokes. All right. D and Dad Jokes. The
Yep.
DAD. All right. Cool. So, yeah. So follow us on TikTok too. And hope you enjoyed tonight's session, and we'll be back at it next week. In the meantime, go check out our website, dndaddjokes.com. You will be able to find a bunch of information there, as well as social media links. You'll have to dig around for TikTok again, which is why Joe left it in the comment there. And you'll be able to check out our calendar of events, know where Rhonda's going to be, and possibly myself. Watch for things popping up in Tucson as well. Got some things stirring. So we will see you next week then.
See you next